Nebraska wrapped up spring practice number 8 here on Thursday. Hi, Sean Callahan with HuskerOnline.com. And practice number 8 leading into a very big scrimmage for Matt Rule's team on Saturday.
It's just an assessment for where we are right now, right? I told the players before practice, a lot of them think in terms of spots, like, oh, I got my spot. No, I don't think about, honestly, I don't ever really believe until the guys played for you for a couple years, you really don't know who your starters are until like after game 2 sometimes. Like, you think someone's a starter, then you see them play and it's a little too big for them, or you see someone play and they're just so comfortable. So I don't really think in terms of spots. I think in terms of like development. And to me, there's like this line, okay, hey, he's good enough to win with. And so if you're above that line, you're going to play, right? Some weeks, I mean, we're in the Big Ten. We're playing in weather. We're playing on turf. Guys are going to get beat up. So you better have, not just 3 defensive line starters. You better have about 5 or 6. So I'm just trying to see where assess where they are right now. A big thing for me is, are they at the right position? What are their opportunities they should get moving forward? But this is by no means like hey, this decides anything. This is just a statement for where they're, because I really do believe in, like, I come out and I think I'm going to play like at this level, and I play at this level, and the guy I'm competing with plays at this level. Great. Now let's see what your behavior's like the next week, right? Like parents, we mess that up all the time. I mess that up as my kids, like they need adversity to spur them on, to drive them. And so, yeah, I kind of look at this as like a ping pong match. You have like the scrimmage 1, then you have scrimmage 2, then you have kind of that spring game, which, the spring game can be, last year we kind of ran everything. This year I'm sure it'll be a little more vanilla. But in terms of what we run for many reasons, but you still get to see who can block and tackle and all those different things. So it'll be important. And we won't only scrimmage. We'll practice some too, and then we'll scrimmage some too. So we really have to take a lot of time to work on our end-of-game 2-minute situations with the way the league runs, with our recent history, but also with really a sophomore quarterback in Heinrich who's only played 1 year, and 2 young quarterbacks and young receivers that we need a ton of the 2-minute reps. So we'll probably rep a lot of those situations first, and then when they're tired, go live and tackle and see if we can tackle and block.
A big topic of discussion all spring has been both the young quarterbacks, Dylan Raiola and Daniel Kalen. Matt Rule said both have really taken big steps.
The way I'm able to see it, because of my role, is really just more in the play, when things I see happening. Within any offensive pass play, you can draw. We run the same play that maybe the Los Angeles Rams run, that someone else runs. It just comes down to the intricacy of the things the quarterback's able to take advantage of. Whereas some people might just say, hey, throw it to him. If he's not open, throw it to him. If he's not open, throw it to him. As you get more evolved, it's like, well, if they give you this coverage, you also have this out here. And if you see one-on-one, you can go back here. And, hey, if they show you this blitz, protect yourself this way. So really it's in the evolution of what the players can handle as you kind of scaffold your teaching, right? Okay, they know they mastered this. Let's teach the next thing. They've mastered this. What happens, I truly believe in that scaffolding process, right? As you're taking your time to teach them the next thing, when you have one player doing something here, the next player quickly catches up. As I said to you guys, players learn from players way more than they learn from us. So that's what I see. I see both guys doing things at a really, really high level, but they're taking advantage of the things within our offense that maybe haven't been taken advantage of as of yet. And I think all 3 guys are doing that. And so that's been the really good thing. Today's going to be, as I told them out there on the field, today's going to be a day. What's happening to us, and it's part of culture now, right? Like everyone's waiting at home for us to put out something from practice today. They want to see the highlights. The highlights haven't been the reason why we haven't been to a bowl game in the last 6 years. It's the lowlights. And so I'm more of a, hey, what are the defects? Eliminate the defects type of a coach. And so, yeah, we have some unbelievable wow plays. But let's talk about the amount of sacks we're giving up, or the big plays we're giving up, or the missed assignments that we have, or the missed opportunities in 2 minutes. So also making sure that we're coaching the what not to do and what to avoid. That's really the step for the quarterbacks, because both guys can make dynamic plays, but our season will be dependent upon how many times we beat ourselves on a play and how many times we don't. And that's really what you worry about with freshman quarterbacks, or what you have to teach for freshman quarterbacks.
And they've even caught the attention of some of Nebraska's veteran 6-year offensive linemen, Ben Scott and Bryce Benhart.
I mean, they're stepping up right away. I mean, they have no fear. They're just attacking, which is what you want to see, confidence.
I think they're doing a great job preparing every practice and going in the film room, and we're not treating them like freshmen. I mean, they're in college now. Like, you have to be treated like everyone else. We're just holding everyone to a standard, and I think they're doing a great job. All three of them are out there, and they're controlling the offense, and a lot of us veteran guys are trying to help out, like with the procedure stuff and all that. So I think we're just going out there and doing a great job.
And for offensive line coach Donovan Raiola, it's been a lot of fun to be around his nephew Dylan here throughout the spring.
Yeah, it's awesome. I mean, family's everything for us, right? And just seeing him and how he's becoming part of the team and understanding the standard and understanding the expectations every day. And not only Dylan, you watch Danny do it, you watch Heinrich do it, you watch Luke Longvall do it, Jack Walkie, all those quarterbacks work really hard. So, for us, it's a comfort level,
As for this offensive line, it is one of the more veteran units in the country, led by guys like Scott and Benhart.
First off, I'm just so grateful to be a part of this, unit with all the experience. I think they do a great job of helping the young guys understand the technique, understand the scheme, understand the standards that we expect. So, it's just, great to be a part of.
It's a good one. I mean, it's great for us being the old heads, we know what we're talking about. I mean, we joke around. I mean, we're helping out all the young guys, doing what we can.
Oh, most definitely. A lot of those guys, like, we would talk to each other, and it's like we were building so much last season, and now, like, we just have to build on it even more. It's like with all those guys coming back, I think we have a lot to work with, and I think the sky's the limit for us.
Benhart particularly made a really big jump a year ago, and he gives a lot of the credit to Raiola.
I mean, the coaching is always going to be the same from Donnie. He's the best for us, and he wants us to, demands perfection out of us. I mean, he's the coach that you want. I mean, rules pushing everyone. I mean, we have great guys on the team that push you on defense too. I mean, and then even in the O-line room, we're pushing each other to get better. We're competing for everything.
One of the newcomers they hope to really work into this offensive line is Florida transfer Micah Mazuka, who continues to adjust to life here in Lincoln.
Micah's improving every day. He's taking to the standard well. He's fitting in with the guys, and you just see improvements every day. He's obviously experienced guy that's played a lot of games, but you just see him, working at things that we're working on, right? Because you come from a different place and different, techniques, and we do things a little different here. So, he's actually really taken to it, and he's improving every day, which is awesome to see.
Matt Rule also hit on a couple of other topics, including just how big it's been having Tony White back here for a second season.
Yeah, well, I think anytime we can have consistency on the coaching staff, we're excited. When you think about it, we did make the move adding Glenn, to be the quarterbacks, moving Sapp, but we still kept Josh here. And so being able to maintain the coaches that the players have relationships with, I think is vital. The men that they can trust. And consistency in teaching. No matter who you are, you're going to add a different wrinkle when you coach a position. So having Tony here, I think it's been great. Behind Tony, obviously, you have Coop, you have T. Knight, you have Rob. But just as importantly, we have Kevin McGarry, who's a longtime head coach, senior defensive analyst, been in that system. Jack Potenza's been taking the Jacks as a graduate assistant. He's ready to be a position coach. He's been taking them one-on-one, and I think the play of the Jack position, I think Chief Borders is doing a fantastic job this camp. I think MJ's really coming on. You see McGahee as a freshman, and it's because I think we've given them to Jack and let him just kind of coach them. Josh Bringwell's been in the system. He played in the system. So you have all these guys who've kind of been in that system. We took, Chevin as a graduate assistant. It's been with Coop before. And then we took Adam from offense and moved him over to defense. I truly believe Adam's really a bright young coach. I think coaching on both sides of the ball really helps you. It's one of the things that I did as a young coach, is that I've coached on both sides of the ball. And I think he brings something to the defensive staff as they break down opponents that's vital. So fired up to have Tony back. you know, I want everyone to have a chance to be a head coach, mainly so they can call me and be like, "Oh, you were right. I'm sorry, I complained all the time, Matt." You know, how hard it is. But you know, Tony will have his chance.
And then finally, Rule was asked about his relationship with new athletic director Troy Dannon, now that we're about 2 weeks into his time here in Lincoln.
Yeah, Troy's comes down every day. You know, I've seen him every day. We've gone out to dinner a couple times. I've had a long history, not professional, but just kind of semi-professional and personal with Troy. I think the big thing with Troy is, when you've seen it, when you've seen it at the highest of levels, right? When you've been to a team that just won the national championship, when you've been to a team in the group of five that's gone to those high levels, you know what it's supposed to look like, So if maybe I come in and I say, hey, we really need this, he has a perspective of, I know why we need this because everyone else has this. And so maybe some of the requests I make a lot of requests, maybe some of the requests I make don't seem quite as, crazy to him because he's seen a lot of people, been around a lot of things. But I think everything's gotten off to a good start. He's not just here for me; he's here for all the sports, and I'm sure he's trying to make his way around and get to know all the coaches and all the staff. But I'm really pleased with everything so far with Troy.
Huskers will be back Saturday for practice number 9, where they'll scrimmage. Reporting with the Nebraska football team in Lincoln, I'm Sean Callahan of HuskerOnline.com.